Hi, today we're diving deep into the world of gel printing. We'll be layering colors, textures, and designs using stencils and stamps to create prints with depth. And along the way, we'll unravel the mystery of why your paint opacity is a game changer. So let's get started. For those of you who are new to the game, gel printing involves use of a flexible gel plate to create unique monoprint artwork. It's super accessible and allows for tons of experimentation. We'll be focusing on developing layers to achieve that sought after sense of depth. What you see me doing here is I am selecting three of my papers for a set of base prints that I created earlier. From here, I'm going to start putting together my next layer. This layer is going to have a little bit more transparency to it. And this is a Syrian crimson. And I'm going to spread this out. Okay, that's the Liquitex slow dry because the paint there is actually drying very quickly. So I added it to the Syrian crimson, mixing it up a little bit. You can see that as this goes on, I'm actually getting like cells on the plate. And most likely that's due to the addition of uh, the slow dry liquid. So I'm coming in and this is my stamp and I'm going to just create some texture. Next, I'm going to come in with one of my stencils. This is mostly straight lines. And I'm going to take a piece of wet strength tissue to pull up the paint that is in the open areas. I pulled up a piece of regular copy paper and I've taken my Baron up to try to get into each one of those areas and take it all the way out to the edges. I'm going to use my fingers to get in there and make sure that I'm getting as much up as I can. You can see I did get some. I would have liked to see more off the plate, but we'll roll with this. Okay, I'm picking up that first background and we're going to line it up and make our second print. Now I'm going to give it a good rub. I want to make sure that I get all the way out to the edges. So I pulled up the bin and see if we could get as good a print off this as we can. Again, this is my second layer on this. Okay, it's time to pull this. And you're going to see that I had to start on the bottom and I was getting some tearing. So I went back up to the top. And you can see I got clearly the stencil did come out nicely there. Okay, I'm going to move on to the next piece. The one you see there, the one with mostly teal. It's actually one of my favorite color combinations, teal and copper together. Okay, this is one of my stamps. So it's the swirlies that they has. I got these off of Joggles. In case you're interested, I'll leave the link down in the description. And winding it up, pulling it down. This one took a little bit of rubbing. I'm noticing that I'm not giving these enough time to dry, and it's causing me some issues. Now my swirls didn't really come out very clearly here, but it's not a bad print. And I think if I were to take another step on this and put another layer on, I think it could go somewhere with that. So I'm not unhappy with that. Okay, now I'm taking some paint and putting it down on my silicone mat, and just to give myself something to roll off on. I'm going to roll directly onto the onto my stamps. You'll see. This is my letter stamps. Again, this is a uh, Joggles acquisition. I'm deciding which one. So I'm going with the circles on this. You pull up some, I think it's Payne's Gray that I went with this. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to put some down the silicone mat. And I pulled up my 2-inch brayer just so I could get in closer to into the circles. I'm going to add a little bit of the slow dry to this because this is a heavy body paint. And although this is not opaque. It's dark enough that it is drying and causing me issues. So decided to fix it before it became a problem. Okay, let's pull this stencil up. And I got a pretty nice looking field of dots there. I'm actually pretty happy with that. And I think this is going to look really nice once we get to the end of it. Now, I'm taking a little bit of an experiment here. I'll let it dry a while. There was a bit of a lapse there. And I was going to pull this directly with the matte or the gloss gel. And quite honestly, it would have needed to sit quite a bit longer than I allowed it to. So I'm going to let that dry for a little bit. And I'm going to do the same thing I did with the last one with some blue gray. And I'm going to put it on the piece you see over to the left. Now this pole to the left is actually, of the group, is probably my favorite one. All I'm going to do is I'm just going to add that texture to it. Now, all of these, I'm not entirely sure they're done, but we'll look at them in just a few seconds. Like a lot with these, my other stamps, this came from Joggles, and I think I like this one best of most of mine because it has that botanical feel to it. And as I said before, some of these don't feel like I'm finished with them. This one has basically 3 poles on it. And I think I could probably stand on maybe at least another one, maybe a third. Okay, let's pull this one. See what we got. As you can see, it really didn't transfer, and I think largely that's because it there just wasn't enough paint down for it to grab onto. There has to be enough paint that the dried layers can reactivate, so you can fold them. So you have to be down wet, put your paper down, and let it dry, completely. This multimedia paper works extremely well for this. This is several hours later, as you can tell by the color change. And I gotta say, this pole is probably my favorite of them. So this is what I have for you today. And as always, this is Thursday Trends. If you get a chance to, go back and watch Gert. She started it out today, of Gert Creates. After he's going to be Just Denise, followed by Art by Julie E. So let's stick around and see what they come up with. Thank you very much for being here, and I will see you next time. Bye for now.